Yo, what's going on, bro?
How's it going, bro?
What's up, Sebastian? Going good, going good. What about you?
Pretty good, man. Thanks for having me on the
Pretty
call.
good, yeah. Fire, bro. Yeah, so I just want to kind of bring you on here. I know you had, a pretty big month this month as well, but just want to give some, I guess some advice from you and just kind of hear your story and, I know others would want to hear your story too, right? So just want to kind of ask a couple questions on your behalf, just about just how your process, how your journey was, and everything before you started, and how it is now, right? And every step towards where you're at right now, doing extremely well, right? But tell them who you are, where you're from, what your age is, all that.
Yeah, obviously my name's Sebastian, 19. Um, Not sure if my camera's going in and out of frame or not. Hopefully you guys can see
Good,
me,
yeah,
but
you're good.
yeah, Canada, BC. Lived here all my life and joined high ticket sales probably like 8 months ago. Wasn't really seeing any success with it. And then, ended up joining Aiden's program. I was his first ever member actually,
Yes, sir. First
inside of
client.
the community.
Yeah,
But yeah, I've built my way up from here, uh, you know, and then I actually started closing for him eventually too after he put me on my first offer, gained some experience. He was like, you know what, man, you're killing it. Let's bring you onto the team. And so, I started working with Aiden as well, and we just kind of built it up from there. And yeah, my best month so far with Aiden has been pretty sure we did like 15K or something. I've been
yeah,
with him for like 4.5, almost 5 months now, and in total, I've been able to make $31,500 pretty much on the dot in total
yeah,
since starting with him, which is insane. Like
yeah, for sure.
before working, I was working at a car dealership too, and I was making $18 an hour. Like I
Yeah,
was I was in the dirt, right? Like I
yeah,
was in the grits of it. But I knew I had to make a change. I had to take a chance on myself, and I ended
yeah,
up doing that, and look where we are now. It's
yeah,
just
for
fucking
sure.
crazy.
100%. Yeah. So like, obviously, you were working the dealership, and before you joined, you came to me and were like, "Hey, bro, I want a new opportunity, want a new mentor who's going to help me get to where I want to be." Right. So I guess before you kind of came to me, before you were, because I know you said 4 months, like before 4 months you were in it, right, and then you didn't see any results. You weren't even on an offer. Just straight up training, just kind of like half-assing it, I guess you could say, before you came to me, right? What were your
Pretty
biggest,
much.
yeah, what were your biggest frustrations at the time, before you came to me?
Just
Like
kind of not
frustration.
knowing what direction to
Yeah,
take. You literally trained me pretty much from the bottom up.
yeah,
Because before, like, I was trying to learn everything on my own.
yeah.
And so yeah, like
Okay,
pretty
yeah,
much just the whole shebang. Like
yeah.
you were my first, mentor pretty much. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, for sure. So like, obviously when you came to me and when you decided to join, right, it was an investment onto yourself, right? What kind of finally made you invest into yourself, to join a program and make that bet on yourself that you were willing to, take the risk and, get the correct resources and the guidance that you previously didn't have, to get you to where you're at right now.
Sorry, can you say that first part again? You kind of cut out.
Yeah, yeah. What would you say was like the kind of like the like yeah, I got to make this investment onto myself to join a program, right? Because it's pretty risky for most people. Like 99% of people aren't willing to make an investment onto themselves, and that's why they usually don't go anywhere. So like for you, what would you say, like, when did you finally decide to make that investment onto yourself?
Honestly, just after so many nights, sleepless nights laying in bed, knowing I had to make a change, but the next day would come and I wouldn't do anything about it. And then the night would come by, put my head down on the pillow, and I'd be
Yeah.
like, fuck, I didn't do a single thing, to move closer to my goals
Uh-huh.
type of
Yeah,
thing,
for sure.
right? So
Yeah.
it just kind
And
of
kind
got
of
to a
having that
point where
self-confidence. Yeah.
yeah, it just got to a point where I knew I had to make a change and take
Yeah.
a chance on myself. And
Yeah.
the worst thing that happens is I'm in the same spot I'm in right
Yeah,
now.
it's like you're boxed. It's like picture yourself boxed up, and for people watching too, picture yourself boxed up in a corner. It's like you can't go forwards, you can't go backwards, you can't go down, you can't go left, you can't go right. The only way up is up, right? You can't.
Yeah,
It's like taking an investment. It's like think of a small box, right, with like all four corners flapped out, kind of like a moving box, and it's like you can't go anywhere. It's like where are you supposed to go? The only way to go is up, right? You're already below you're already at the lowest, right? You're rock bottom. You can't. Where else are you gonna go? You know what I mean? You take an investment
Yeah,
onto yourself. You take a risk on yourself. It doesn't work out. Okay, cool. Right. Take the next one. Boom. Right. At least you have the balls to do it. And most people wouldn't. Right. So you're able to take that first step that most people wouldn't. Right. And that you
I
previously hadn't.
appreciate
Right.
that.
So you were
Yeah,
like, I had to
respect
kind of make
that.
that change. Yeah. Yeah. For sure. Okay. Cool. So like, obviously, most people are nervous. Right. It's human nature. To make a decision that they haven't in the past, which is why they're in the position that they're at right now, right? So, would you say you were kind of nervous before signing up, and like,
Oh,
obviously, it's human
jeez, yeah,
nature.
yeah.
Yeah,
That was like the first time I ever done something like this, right? I had no
yeah, for
clue what was
sure,
gonna happen at all.
100%. Yeah, and it's a big ball move, right? You know what I mean? Like, what would you say pushed you to kind of take that leap on yourself?
In kind of like what sense would you say?
What was that trigger and like that kind of like fire on your tail, just like telling you like, I got to make this jump, I got to make this leap, to invest into myself and to actually go harder than I should have, 4 months ago.
Honestly, honestly I don't really know how to answer that one,
Yeah,
specifically.
yeah,
Um, Truthfully, it's just something that came to me. You know what I mean? I
yeah,
felt it. I just knew it was inside of me. I knew the time was right. And I knew I had to stop waiting, kind of
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
I
Like now
felt
was the
it
time.
so strongly inside. I was so certain about it, right? And when you're certain about something like that, like that's that's an opportunity, right? You don't want to throw those away.
Yeah, for sure. So you saw the opportunity, just
At
grasped it.
least you can turn it into an opportunity, right?
Yeah,
If you really want.
yeah, 100%. So yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, after all that you went through, you were able to kind of take that risk, take that investment onto yourself, and take that action, one step closer to where you need to be, right? So, what would you say, like when you joined the program? What was your first impression, just
Oh, it
of
was
everything?
great. Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah. Obviously I was
Yeah,
the first person you ever, took on to your
yeah, for
community.
sure.
So it
A
was
hundred.
obviously fresh and I've seen it built up from the
Yeah,
ground up, but it was great, right?
yeah,
And
yeah,
from where it started to where it is now is leaps and bounds. You know what I mean?
yeah, 100%. Yeah, and so like, when you were able to kind of join, being the first member ever, right? Taking that leap on yourself. Um, what specifically, like, what part of the program would you say, I guess, kind of helped you the most and got you closer to where you wanted to be? And like, I guess a standpoint of like what resource specifically, whether it was like the community, right, the mentorship, the frameworks, the off the place,
Definitely,
like what would you say?
definitely the coaching calls,
Yeah,
when I first started and had no idea what I was doing, those were like super beneficial and I was nervous to interact with them, and like put
yeah,
myself out there, but once I
yeah.
started doing that, like I started to see real growth, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, 100%, right? And it's most people, like, if you're not coming into something nervous, right, a little bit of anxiety, it's like you wouldn't be human, right? It's like it's part of human nature to go into new things and have that, like, stress and anxiety on you, right? But you're gonna have to push it off, right? And I know you did that very well. Like, you came in, you just interacted really well, and off the bat, like, you just started, just kind of just got the ball rolling, and you were stacking wins left, right, and center. I remember that. So was there kind of like a breakthrough moment, like a moment where everything just started to click for you? Like, would you say?
Oh, 100%, yeah. After like, 2.5 months in, obviously, it's different for everyone, but yeah, I'd say like 2.5 months in, everything really started to click and things really started to take off.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And I remember at a time, because I'll never forget this moment, right? I remember at a time you went 9 for 10 on your first 10 calls ever. Like,
Oh man, yeah, that was
that's
insane.
unheard of. 9 for 10 on 10 calls. That's like how does that even happen, right? This guy's, I don't even know how he did that. You know what I mean?
I would say it's luck, but I definitely, I made it happen. I
Yeah,
wanted it to happen, and
yeah, yeah,
but honestly, yeah, I
yeah.
don't know, man.
Skill with a little bit of luck. Yeah, for sure. So that was insane. I seeing that, I saw the potential, and I knew, like, this guy's a killer, right? And you were at that time, bro. Everyone was looking up to you. I remember they were like, dude, Sebastian this guy's insane, right? Like, how do I get on this guy's level? You know what I mean? It's like you were doing better. It's like you're about to surpass me. You know what I mean? So that was insane. I was extremely proud of you
That's how
until
it
this day.
works.
Yeah, for sure, right? You know what I mean? Um, so like, your first big win, like when you were able to close that first call, like what was that feeling like? Can you kind of walk us through that first big win, like the commission, the feeling, like everything, in that first big close that you ever got?
Yeah. Like just that real sense that like holy shit, things are changing, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like that real sense of relief. It was amazing. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. And it's just like knowing that I feel like you knew you had it in you, especially coming into this. And you're the type of person, like I see so many people come in this with like kind of like an ego bigger than themselves, an ego bigger than they used to be. And you had a perfect, just, it's like an ego. It's like a
Gotta
tiny
humble
bit of an
yourself
ego,
for sure.
self-confidence. And you were extremely humble. Like at the moment, you came to me and you were like, how I got my first win. How can I get better? Right? How can I close my next one? It's on to the next, right? And a lot of people get their first close. They'll be like, bet, like I got the first close. And it's like the ego builds up for them. And it slowly crashes down, right? And you built up that momentum, and it just never stopped, right? It was like a rolling snowball, right? And because your humbleness and your self confidence, your self belief, right? And you put your bad ego to the side and shifted it, and decided to put yourself in a position where I constantly want to grow, right? And that's
Yeah.
what you itself, like you were by far, one of my best students, my first student and best student ever, right? And it's like the reason why is because your attitude and your mentality, because you're always willing to get the correct advice. And I remember like just the other day you didn't close a call and you were like, let's hop on practice, let's hop on mock calls, I want your help, Aiden. And it's like you've been in here for 4 months and still coming to me for help. It's like, I love it, right? I love it. I love when guys like you come to me for help, because most people they don't
That's
want
what you
that.
gotta do, bro. Like how else are you gonna get better, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly, 100%. So a lot of people, they don't understand mentality, humbleness, right? And then you know the correct self-confidence, right? Not ego, but self-confidence is what really
Mhm.
gets you to where you want to be, not your ego, right? Because that's just that, that's short term, right? um won't get you anywhere. So obviously, you've had these huge wins, right? Especially since joining. So with these wins, right? Your income, lifestyle, confidence, everything. Like, what changed since joining? In terms of those things.
All of it, man. All of it
Yeah,
is, in drastically increased.
yeah. And how has that affected you?
It's only been good, bro.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
It's really only been good. I can't say anything bad about
yeah,
it, you know what I mean? But I've learned a lot too, right?
yeah.
With
Yeah, and
personal
like, did,
growth,
did you
like
expect
yeah.
did you expect this to be this big? Coming to this 4 months ago, coming to me for the correct guidance, and the mentorship. Like, did you expect it to be this big? 31.5K. It's
No.
it's
No.
yeah, yeah,
No.
yeah,
I was hopeful for, somewhere, to be in somewhere around there, but no.
yeah. Definitely exceeded your expectations, right? Yeah. So
Probably it definitely did, bro.
definitely, yeah, for sure. So just kind of looking back, right?
Yeah.
What is some advice that you would have given to yourself, right? On
Hmm.
your journey, because you've had an extremely successful journey, right? It's pretty rare to
So
see.
far, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty rare to see such a great amount of success, from anyone, right? In that in the span of four
Absolutely, yeah.
months. Yeah. So what would you say, like, if you were to look back 4 months ago, even before that, 5, 6, a year ago, what is some advice you would give to yourself, now being at the amount of success that you're at right now? What would you say?
I probably shouldn't have been so scared, bro. Honestly.
Fear? Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
shouldn't have been so scared and I should have had more, confidence in myself and just believe in myself more than I did because, it was scary at first. Like that's a normal thing, but I think to be honest, I was overthinking it a little bit too much, you know. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I think when I
And
realized
that's
that
normal. Yeah.
was, yeah, 100%.
Yeah. And you started to just realize, like, I'm not going anywhere else, right? I'm not going forward.
Exactly.
I'm not going
Yeah.
backwards. I'm staying neutral, right? It's staying neutral is
Yeah.
worse than going backwards, right? If you go slightly backwards, taking a risk on yourself, you're bound to go forward even more because you're going to learn from the mistake that you previously made, right? So,
Hmm.
also for people wanting to start, right? People that are in your shoes, 4 months ago, before that and everything, like what would you say to anyone who's kind of looking to get started, but kind of has that, just that fear that you used to have, right? That lack of self confidence and winning, right? What is some advice that you would give to them? Someone that's on the fence about joining, what would you tell them?
I would say just do it for one, take the chance on yourself, take the risk, right? Nobody's coming to save you.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
gotta, you gotta, you gotta save yourself at the end of the day.
yeah, for sure. Yeah. And it's like your success is at the line, right? It's like, if you're not moving anywhere, you got to move somewhere, right? You know what I mean? It's like you figure that out yourself too, right? Which is why you're at where you're at right now. It's like obviously you're not saying where you're at because you came to me yesterday. You're like, hey, I want more help. I did 31K. Let me get more, right? Um, and and that's what I love about your attitude, bro. Because you're
Once
always
you hit,
you're
once you
always
hit your goal, you got to keep
yeah,
going for more.
it lowers the roof, and that's the bottom, right? Your roof that you're aiming for turns into the floor. It's
Yeah.
crazy. It's success, and it's like a lot of people that are coming to kind of go on this journey of success, right? As soon as you enter it, it's never stopping. There's no cap. Like like there's literally no capacity that you're gonna hit, right? It's like you're aiming for this. You as soon as you hit it, boom, it's at the floor, right? It's on to the next, right?
Yeah.
It's like an elevator, right? It never ends. You know what I mean? It's just keep stepping, keep stepping, keep stepping. Your success never ends, right? But people realize that sooner or later. So and what's one piece of advice that you'd give to, I guess, the new students that are starting out, or just new people that are starting out in the space of high ticket sales? What's some advice that you would give to them?
Join coaching calls, be present, don't be afraid to, put yourself out there, like I said, because that's what I did, and it held me back for a while, at least a little bit there, longer than, I could have been a lot further ahead, if I didn't do those things. And so
Yeah,
just be present, be active, take in all the information you can, and don't try to rush into things. Feel like that was another mistake, I kind of made. I was like, oh, let me just, be a closer right away, get on
yeah,
calls, and
yeah. We
then
all
you
do, bro.
you, then you get on calls and embarrass yourself. So
Exactly. Yeah,
practice is,
and that's
so
always how it
important.
goes. It's
Taking
it's
notes,
pretty
yeah.
rare to see. Yeah, it's pretty rare to see
It's the
someone
boring
that comes
stuff
in here.
it's the boring stuff, that really matters. So 100%, yeah.
Yeah, and most people don't realize it's a lot of people will come into high ticket sales to make money, right? It's like, yeah, obviously money's a reward, but
Yeah, and they
you're
kind
doing
of
it for the
think like if you just join, right? Like it's automatic and it's just gonna happen like
yeah.
that.
There's no
But
guarantee. You know what I mean?
it's not like that, right?
Yeah,
At
and
the
it's
end of
like
the day, it's you got to be good at sales, right?
yeah, and it's like you're not coming into high ticket sales. It's like if you've previously made any sort of money, right? Don't get used to that constant, um, like guarantee of making money. This isn't like reselling where you buy a Chinese product and then you flip it to someone. It's like you're developing a long term skill, right? You may even go a month, right? 2 months with hearing $0, right? But those are the type of people who sacrifice those 2 months, and in the long term, right? 4 months down the road, like 3 4 months, 5 months, 6 months down the road, they end up doing 30 40 50K months, because they were able to develop and leverage a skill and a huge momentum of the skill itself, rather than just kind of do it quick, right? Trying to get that quick money, the quick gratification. And they played it the long game rather than the short game, and that's who the real successful people are, right? And you're a pure example of one of them. You know what I mean? Right?
Hmm.
So that's some advice that
100%.
even I would say, right? To everyone that's starting out, it's like you're not gonna get immediate results if you come into any business model in general thinking that you're gonna get quick results. It's like, do something else. Like if you want quick results, get it.
Yeah.
High ticket sales is
Yeah.
for you, right? If you want to actually genuinely learn sales and develop the real skill of it, and 10 years down the road, 30, 40, 50 years down the road. Sales is a skill that you're going to last for. It's like you're going to die knowing sales. You're going to be on your deathbed, trying to sell to the, no, I'm playing. But like you're going to have sales for the rest of your life. You know what I mean? You're going to right now it's small high ticket sales, like, 5, 10, 20K, right? And then it's like soon if you're getting into bigger things like real estate and like things like that, it's like you're doing hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? That's higher ticket, that's massive
Yeah.
ticket. So but yeah, it's amazing seeing that your results, right? But looking ahead, you know because obviously this isn't the full potential that you reach, right? This is the new floor now. The previous roof is the new floor. So what are your next goals, now that you've hit this level of success that you're at right now? What would you say?
Honestly, as of right now, I don't exactly know, but I'm just gonna keep going, right? And
Yeah.
continue to get better every single day. Like exactly why I came to you, bro. We're finally here, right? We've made it this far. Like, how do I continue to get further, right?
Yeah, for sure. It's like, how can I get better? It's it's a constant journey of improvement, right?
Exactly.
That's
It really is, yeah.
yeah, that's the whole goal, right? And that's that at the end of the day, looking back 4 months ago, that's why you even came to me, right? To get all these the resources, the guidance, right? From the right people, who actually succeeded. So you did that. I mean, holding yourself accountable, right? And me being able to hold yourself accountable played a big role in it as well. Like you held yourself extremely accountable, right? You would always come back to me when you didn't close a call. I remember that. It's like that showed me, you wanted it more than most people, because most people wouldn't have the courage to do that. And most people wouldn't have the balls to go out and ask for help because it hurts their ego, it bruises their ego, right? Most people
Mhm.
will they'll hop off a call, they won't close it, and they'll talk about the leads, right? The offer owner, and it's like it's very rare that you see someone as humble and wanting to grow as you, right? Because you're constantly in a state of how can I get better, how can I get the correct guidance? Yeah. And it's like, this is why you're so far compared to most people. And not to put anyone down, but it's like most people wouldn't see that amount of success because they can't hold themselves accountable, and they physically can't bruise their ego because it hurts them, right? And they're in it for the short-term game rather than the long-term game.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
agree. I
Yeah,
agree.
100%. Yeah, and it's great seeing this. But anyway, bro, it's great talking to you. Great hearing your personal
I appreciate you
testimonial.
getting me on here, bro. It
Yeah,
was
for
nice.
sure.
Yeah, it was nice to get some time to talk about all this stuff.
Yeah, for sure. And it's amazing seeing from point A to point B. Seeing. I'm just happy to see what the next step is. I'm here to see what's coming next. I know you're gonna be hitting crazy months. You're probably gonna surpass me soon. You know what I mean? You're doing extremely well. Keep killing it, bro. You're I want to see you tonight on mock calls. You know what I mean? I want to
Oh,
keep
I'll be
seeing you.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, for
Definitely.
sure. But anyway, bro, it's great seeing you. I'll let you go now. But I hope everyone hears the story and hears his testimonial and uses this as fuel and as motivation to get to where they want to be. Because I'm sure most people are in the position that you used to be in. Because it's normal, right? But it's definitely not normal to be where you're at in the span of 4 months. That's not normal. So everyone has the option. Everyone has the free will to change and to get to where they want to be, right? It's not you know to get to where you are, right? It's not hard, but it's not so it's not easy, but it's not hard, right? You got to put in the work, you got to put in the time. But you did it, right? If you can do it, anyone can. So yeah, bro, it's
Appreciate you,
great
bro.
talking to you. I'll let you go now, bro.
Awesome, man. Take care.
Yes, sir. Take care. Peace.